Another way to identify deity and the class they're in is to look at their hands and their mudras, hand symbols, mudra. In this case, a very common hand gesture of the historical Buddha, Shaka Nyorai, is the right hand pointing upward, the fear not mudra, and the left hand pointing down to the earth, which is the blessing mudra. He, among the deities, probably is the only one who's shown often with this particular handstand. We can see some other types of deities. Here we can, Buddhist deities. Here we see the medicine Buddha, the Yakushi Nyorai. Again, bump of knowledge, curly hair, hard to see, but a third eye, elongated ears, very simple gown. Here we see the big Buddha of Nara. And this is the Virushana Buddha, which is another name for the cosmic Buddha, Dainichi Buddha. Again, lump of knowledge, curly hair, long ears, third eye, very simple gown. This is, I think, 30 meters tall, made of bronze. Here in my own city, Kamakura, we have the Amida Buddha, Amida Nyorai, who is the central deity of the Pure Land School. Pure Land School is one of the largest denominations even today. I think the three largest denominations in Japan are the Pure Land School, Amida, the Zen School, which is Shaka Nyorai, the historical Buddha, and then the Nichiren School. But Nichiren doesn't worship any particular deity, it worships the Lotus Sutra. So here again, Amida Buddha, lump of knowledge, curly hair, third eye, elongated ears, very simply dressed. And the hand gesture here, if you know a little bit about the hand gestures, just study a little bit, you would automatically recognize this as being Amida Buddha because of the circles he's making with his hands. Amida Nyorai, they said, took eons and eons and eons to gain enlightenment. And here's a humorous statue, in my mind, it came from the Muromachi era, which is 15th century. It's because it took so long, he's grown all this hair. Did I write anything? Hozo practiced for an inconceivably long time and is thus shown with this very thick hair. This particular monk then becomes Amida Buddha in the future. Here again, we see the cosmic Buddha. This is the 12th century carving down in Oita. In the center, we see Dainichi Nyorai. Hard to tell here with the photo, but the bump of down is a third eye, long ears, and the simple garment. So those are very simple ways to recognize the highest class of deity, the Buddha class, the Nyorai class. Here near my house in Chiba, here's a statue of the medicine Buddha. Here again, bump of knowledge, third eye, elongated ears, simple gown, and we can easily identify this Buddha because this Buddha always carries a medicine jar. So this is his medicine jar telling us it's the Buddha of medicine. And let's see. Oh, okay. So when we next talk, we'll talk about the second highest class, the Bodhisattva class, those who will become Buddhists, but delay entry into Buddhahood to stay here to help all people towards salvation. But in actually, there are 10 classes. And the Buddha class, which we talked about today, which we identified with certain characteristics, right below them is the Bodhisattva class, and they can also be identified by certain characteristics. Below them are the realms of learning and realization. And these are considered together the four enlightened realms. Once you have progressed this far to one of these realms, you no longer fall into the 6 realms of suffering, the 6 realms of karmic rebirth. Most people know a little bit about reincarnation or karma. These 6 realms, these 6 passive realms below, are the 6 karmic realms. And essentially, basically, if you act correctly, you think correctly, you do all the right things, when you die, you will be reborn at a higher level. If you're a very bad person, do evil things, when you're reborn, you'll be reborn at a lower level. And these are the 6 levels. And we're constantly spinning in these 6 levels. We're being reborn down or we're being reborn up. If we don't practice properly, we can never attain these higher 4 realms. So just quickly, the realms are the hell realm, the worst realm of suffering. The next realm was the hungry ghost realm. In this realm, it's very interesting. In this realm, you're surrounded by wonderful looking food, but when you try to eat it, it turns into dung or human feces. You're surrounded by all these wonderful things to drink, but the minute you try to drink them, they turn into fire and burn your throat. So you're surrounded by all these wonderful things, but you can never eat them or drink them. The next realm is animal realm, the realm of suffering and slavery. The 4th realm is the realm of anger, basically. And then there's the human realm, our realm. As you can see, the human realm is very close to being in an enlightened realm. But we still have to work very hard to become enlightened. At the top of the 6 realms in the karmic world is the Diva realm. And we mentioned them before, that the Diva came from the Hindu pantheon. Here's the Diva class. They came from the Hindu pantheon. They were subdued and converted to Buddhism. And now they serve as protectors in the world today. And they serve as protectors of the Buddhist faith. Many people might be familiar too with the Tibetan Wheel of Life. The Tibetan Wheel of Life also shows the 6 realms, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You see the realms here are the Diva realm, the belligerent realm, hungry ghosts, beings in hell, animals, humans. And the wheel is being held by Yama, the Lord of Death, or the Lord of the Underworld, because it signifies that we are always suffering if we do not escape the wheel of life. Up here we see the moon, which symbolizes liberation, and here we see the Buddha pointing at the moon, because you don't want to be trapped forever in the wheel of life. So you strive to become a Buddha.